Okay, so first PowerPoint slide. The school year 22-23 renewal application is open and you need to get started on it. Got to have that completed and approved by us before you're going to be able to file any claims. You do have to insert, if you're new, you do have to insert an FY23 application first. And I'm going to attempt to just kind of show you where, oh, why, no, hold on. Get out of that so that doesn't come up. Oh, gosh, darn it. Darn. Okay. Why is it not, where'd it go? Oh, I had it. Let me see if that does it. Hi, Bill. Can you guys see cars on my screen? Because that's, no, I don't think that's what we're seeing. Okay, let me try again. Hold on. Sorry. I pulled it. That's the screen. It's weird. Maybe, no, I don't want to. Let me minimize it. Let me try that. Okay. Try it again. Try one more time. So share. That's not it. Well, what's going on today?
It's Monday.
I know, unfortunately. It's been a Monday too. Okay, it's not working. So when you log into cars, and in the drop-down box, there's no 23. It only shows 22 for the fiscal year. Go over to the menu on the left. It says right at the top, insert application. Click on that. We'll give you the option to put in 2023 for the fiscal year. You need to put in 2023 for the fiscal year, and I think you click OK or submit or something to that effect, and it will populate a 2023 application for you. So you definitely have to have a 2023 available to complete to be able to do it. So sorry about that. Okay. The other reminder is you have a required amount. You do have to charge adults and staff and visitors. So adults, staff, and visitors. And then if you contract meals, you also have to do that. Sorry about that. My other computer was ringing. Breakfast this year is $2.26. Lunch is $4.84, and snack is $1.08. I know most of you don't have teachers eat snacks, but I did add it there. If you are not charging that amount to your teachers specifically, is who I'm speaking about, there is a form, adult meal charge tracking form, that has to be tracked. So I'm just going to use round numbers. We do not recommend you don't charge your adults the full amount. I can say that. I'm again going to use round numbers, and I'm going to use lunch as an example. Let's say that you all at your district charge $4 for lunch. There's 84-cent difference there. That has to be tracked each month for each meal, total meals, in that form. And you can get that form from our office, or you can get that form from your regional child nutrition program specialist. They have a copy of it. And that difference in the $4.84 and the $4 is tracked, and that amount has to be reimbursed back to child nutrition. Typically that is done, that has to be done with non-federal funds, and that is typically done through a credit or paying for a portion of some child nutrition something or other. If you're not charging your teachers at all, that is a whole nother can of worms, and that is considered a taxable benefit, and someone in your district needs to reach out to OCAS to see how to deal with that, because it should be taxed as a benefit. It's not ideal, but that is a true statement, and OCAS can help you with that process. So if you're not charging at least this minimum on the screen right now for your adults, if you contract meals with a Head Start or a child care center or something like that, and you're providing those meals, they have to pay you this minimum amount as well. This is a regulatory requirement. Okay, next slide, please. And several of the next slides are just the topic of transitioning back to normal NSLP and SVP. A reminder that Seamless Summer SSO and Summer Feeding Program SFSP must end when your school year starts. There's no more free meals served to everyone or claimed as free for this school year. You must collect free and reduced price meal applications unless you are already approved as CEP or provision 2 or 3. And the deadline to do either one of those has passed. So everyone will be doing counting and claiming meals at the point of service as free, reduced, or paid this year. You also cannot require the completion of a free reduced price meal application. It is strictly voluntary to the families, and you may not withhold class schedules, bus schedules, grades, or student records if they don't fill one out. It just benefits them to do it, helps you with other funding as well. We're also hearing a little bit of rumblings out there regarding the economically disadvantaged form, and I just want to remind you that that does not take the place of the free and reduced price meal application. They're two completely separate forms, and as far as the economically disadvantaged form, it has nothing to do with child nutrition. It shouldn't have bearing on meals. It doesn't have a reference to meals to it, and child nutrition should not be handling anything dealing with economically disadvantaged. I know that's probably not what the district wants to hear, but that is the true statement. Keep in mind that not all your grains have to be whole grain this year, but 80% of your grains served have to be whole grain. If you have multiple lines, each line must meet that whole grain requirement of 80%. Also, if you're in elementary school and you're interested in applying for the fresh fruit and vegetable program this year, applications are due August 26th, and that can be found in CARS as well, where you complete your renewal application and agreement. As I've said a couple different times on some calls recently, there are state waivers if your school must pivot to distance learning due to COVID. Meals would still be claimed categorically if provided to students. Just because I have state waivers to allow for this doesn't mean the meals are free. So some of that, if that happens, you're going to have a way to take meals and check off a roster. Check if maybe you have a tablet that hooks up to your point of sale system, that you're going to be able to take a categorical point of meal service count by category, free, reduced, and paid. There will be a form that we are just about done developing to apply for that. You will have to apply for it, and it will be approved for 10 days, 10 school days at a time, which is 2 weeks of school. And then if it's needed for longer, you would let us know. We would adjust the form and go from there. Forms, again, not quite developed, but won't be long. We'll have it ready. There's a lot going on up here too, just like you guys have a lot going on at your school transitioning back. Okay, a lot of questions have come up recently regarding lunch debt from prior school years. Page C80 of our child nutrition manual does address meal debt from prior school years. Just a couple bullet points on that. All SFAs, you do have to have a written policy to address situations when children participating at the reduced price or paid rate do not have money to cover the cost of the meal at the time of the meal service. That's one of your charge policies that has to be maybe developed and put into a student handbook and posted on the website. So how do you handle charges? How do you handle if they don't pay a lunch bill? That has to be a lunch policy, unpaid lunch policy has to be developed. SFAs may carry over negative balance in student accounts into the next school year, except for seniors who graduated last year, unless the school policy is different. This also means that SFAs can continue to attempt recovery of uncollected meal charges from previous years. Any monies collected in the new school year should be treated as new revenue, and it also tells you how to code that if that's the case. And again, this is on page C80 of the Child Nutrition Manual, and it has a little bit more information on there as well regarding that. And the next one deals with the at-risk after-school meals program. Keep in mind, if you participate in at-risk after-school program, we need you to submit a bell schedule for this school year. You can email that bell schedule to cassandra.riddell@sde.ok.gov. There was an email that went out last week regarding this. This is just another reminder. At-risk suppers or snacks must be served at the end of the school day or during an expanded learning time. And that email addressed that as well. And that's part of the reason we're asking for the bell schedule for this school year. And then keep in mind, some of you think that right now is the time to reapply for the CACFP at risk or simply apply for it. That program runs on a federal fiscal year of October 1 to September 30th. So that application will open up early to mid-September. So keep that in mind. So it's not quite ready yet. We're making some changes to it. Specifically, and a lot of you will be happy about this, we're making changes to that budget. It won't be like it was last year. We had to implement some changes, and because we had made that agreement with USDA on some things, and it kind of went a little too far into the wrong direction. So we have made some updates to that. The next one is addressing the direct cert full report that I also mentioned prior to starting the PowerPoint. Someone asked in the chat if that was available. It's not available yet. We're waiting on that report from DHS. And just to keep in mind, we haven't really relied on that report the last 2 school years because all meals have been served free. You all probably did pull it, but you weren't relying on it. So prior to COVID, this was also a report that does come out in August, and it tends to be a little bit later than what we need it to be. Unfortunately, that's just the case. So as soon as we have it available, we will send an email through CARS letting you all know that it is available. Okay, some additional funding that will be coming your way. Supply chain assistance funds round 2. It's been about 2 or 3 weeks. We found out that USDA is issuing some additional supply chain assistance funds, and the requirements are the same as last year. This was the funds that are tied to unprocessed or minimally processed foods, and same thing applies this year. The one thing this year is we only have to reach out to schools that opted out last year. Otherwise, you don't need to send anything to us. So we had 30 schools that opted out last year or never responded. And we will be reaching out to those 30 schools directly to determine if they want the funding this year or not again. We received just a little bit less than we did last year, ended up being about $800,000 less. And so that's the amount on the screen. It was almost $14 million, but not quite. And then once we receive the funds from USDA and we hear back from those 30 districts, we will issue payments and funds again, and they will go through your state aid account. But those are CNP funds that need to be routed and coded as such. 759 is the OCAS code for that as well. Okay, we will of course let you know through CARS when that does pay out. The other item that we will be paying out here pretty quick will be PEBT local admin funds. It is to cover expenses with administration of PEBT, I guess is really what I should say. You'll receive the amount based on the number, and it says PEBT eligible, but it's basically your free and reduced kids as of October 1 of last year. Yes, last year, sorry. It will be also issued through your state aid account. Again, these are child nutrition funds for PEBT. Any cost incurred for PEBT, including labor, is allowed to be paid with these amounts. Equipment grant. We also received, I think just a couple weeks ago, that we will be receiving, our USDA is issuing equipment grant funds again this year. Oklahoma was awarded just a little over $470,000. That is an increase from last year. The grant will be opening up for you all on or around October 1st, and it will be done through CARS. We will again send something out through CARS, and there will be more details to come on this. We're still working through our processes here. And then the last slide is our upcoming trainings. We've got a food buying guide training tomorrow. There's an at-risk training manual workshop tomorrow as well. The food buying guide's in the afternoon. At-risk training is in the morning. And then there's another food production record Wednesday, no, it looks like Thursday, sorry. The 11th, there was a little bit of a mix up with links last week. We apologize for that. We've had to switch, as you may or may not know, we've had to switch from just regular Zoom to government Zoom, and that required us to redo everything. And it just happened. A little bit of human error there on our part. So we apologize for that. We are redoing it on August 11th at 1:30. We are planning another one of these calls on September 12th. We would have done it a month from today, but that falls on a holiday. And I know most schools are out for Labor Day, and we are off that day as well. So we pushed it back one more week to the 12th. It'll be at 1:30. If we were to get any information prior to that call that we felt we needed to get out prior to September 12th, we would schedule a Zoom session and get that taken care of for you. Okay, so we are now going to go to I'm going to open up the chat, and you can put some questions in there. I'm going to find where we were. Okay, let me scroll down. Okay, so let me give us a little bit of an update on PEBT. I promise you, no one in this office is telling parents to call the school. I'm just going to lead with that statement. We know it's happening. It's not this office doing it. What has been issued here in the last week to 10 days? I don't think it's been quite 2 weeks yet. Summer of 22, but they're not done paying it. There was some address issues, being the way the address was populated, multiple reasons that they are working through, and that was not quite 8,000 cases. It was a little bit less than that, but they are working through those, and they will get those issued. The correction window, believe it or not, for 2021, and yes, that is a while back, and I understand that, will be opening up soon for districts, because there's going to be a training, and you'll be able to make those corrections in the accountability report. It is not open yet, but it won't be much longer. We couldn't open it in the middle of summer because that wouldn't have worked out real well. Most people wouldn't have had the ability to do anything. So we have had to wait till, we're going to wait a little bit until more schools have started, and then we'll have that window available. But as far as the summer of 22, they did issue the data that didn't have addresses have been paid. They're not done, like I said, so there's more to come for summer of 22. No, not everyone. Oh, I misread that. So did everyone get summer PEBT money that were free and reduced? Summer PEBT is tied to May of 22. And if a child was free or reduced in May of 22, they would have been eligible for PEBT. It's not tied to virtual learning for summer. School year benefits are tied to virtual learning and free and reduced. School year 21-22 has not been paid out. The data hasn't been pulled. I don't even think the data has been finalized in the accountability report yet either, from what I understood. Summer 22, I'm going to say was $390. Give or take a couple dollars either way, but I believe it was a flat $390. Okay. So what else? I'm actually at the end of the chat, so I'm surprised. What else do you all have? Yes, if the staff pays $1 for lunch and the school pays $4, yes, you need to track that. That is for sure. Anyone else? I can't believe you guys don't have more questions. What do we tell these parents regarding PEBT? The last email from a parent said that DHS is telling him the only people that can help is the schools. That's not a true statement. You just let the parents know that they are not done paying out PEBT. There's still benefits that are being issued. They do it on they do it in phases, and right now they're just at a standstill because they are making some corrections to some address data, and that's going to take a little bit. And then their system can only handle so many payouts a day. And so that they're paying them out in phases, and they do the best they can. Are there any changes from last year with schools? And no, the supply chain funds will be just like last year, and management companies the same. In what you have to provide is the same. Are there going to be any more cafeteria managers trainings? Kendra, you want to address that, please? You can unmute yourself if you want.
Yes, we will probably plan on doing one in the fall, especially in case you guys get new employees. And then we will also have it in OSDE Connect. So it will also be a self-paced training, but we will have some, not soon, but we will have some coming up in the fall, periodically as Zoom meeting. It'll go Zoom and not in person.
Kendra, I think somehow we missed a slide, but I'm looking back at what I printed and I don't see it in here. How did that happen? I had somebody just put something about PLE in the chat, and that made me remember. Where did that slide go? That's weird. Hold on, let me peek at something. No. Okay, let me go back to that. Regarding the PLE tool requirements, if we had a positive balance on December 31st and still want to increase prices, can we? Yes, you can. That is perfectly fine. That's a district decision. And as far as that, that is strange. I had a slide about that. I even looked at it this morning. Crazy. And I printed them off and made notes on some of mine, and it's not in there either. So also, if you had a negative balance in your child nutrition account on December 31st of 2021, you are required to do the PLE. If you had a positive balance, you don't have to do the PLE tool, but we do have to have a revenue and expenditure report from December 31st of 2021 showing a positive balance. And this is being tied to the application and agreement. I apologize. I'm not sure. Becky's probably going, where did she put that slide? Because it was in here. Okay, I jumped in the chat, so I'm gonna go back. Got that one. Kendra addressed that one. The code for SCA funds is 759, Shauna. Is that the one you're referring to? And then I answered that one. The wave, we don't have anything on that. I mentioned that earlier, and then there was a slide on it. There's nothing. Okay, supply chain was 759. And then Kendra has put the training slides back up, the dates for you. Kendra asked that, and somebody asked that. Okay, anyone else have any questions? Are you having good response of getting free and reduced applications from families? Parnell, it really depends on what system you're using for your child nutrition, but it's going to be an expenditure, revenue expenditure report. It'll show your balance, and you can put it at, you can get it from a specific date, which in this case would be December 31st of 21. We can send Beverly Moore. We can send that to you. So if you put what district you're with, Becky can send you that PLE tool. Equipment grant, is it only for a site that has not been awarded? Yes, Miss Parker, you know that. Wink, wink. Okay, so you're having a pretty good response. Since you put it online, you are? Okay, great. Yes, you can put them online. Good deal. Stuart was provision 2, and we are up for renewal and haven't heard anything yet. I'm sorry, the chat keeps jumping. Do you know when we will hear if we need to get applications or not? Are you trying to get if you're trying to get an extension to your provision 2, that should have probably already been done. So you need to reach out to Nikki in our office. Nikki Assad can answer that for you. Oh, there she is. Okay, there was a letter mailed last Thursday to your district. She just told me. Stuart?
So they can continue.
Okay. I'm going to have her reach out to you. Okay. We don't need to discuss your, you need to reach out to Nikki Stewart, who, I'm sorry, the chat's going crazy now. Angela, sorry about that. Please do reach out to Nikki at our office. Okay. Pa Heska, thank you, Beverly. We will get you a PLE tool. How would I have a boys' home that houses several boys in our district fill out an application? It depends, really, Jill. Are they considered homeless? There's just a couple of factors we would need to discuss there. You can reach out to us, or you can reach out to your regional child nutrition program specialist and have that discussion with them. They can help you with that. Yes, slides and all this are always posted in other documents. Yes. You have flooded your Facebook, student information system, Messenger, and everywhere else we can think of to get the information out. So far, you're getting a good response. That's great, Jeff. Thank you for letting me know. That's what we've suggested. That's the only way to get the information out, is to just get it out in any possible way, and every way you listed is awesome. Okay. Kendra put in the chat that the slides and the YouTube link will be posted in CARS under other documents. We just have to have a day or so to get it all up there, and we'll get it up as quickly as we can. Yes, Jill and Sandy just became a grandma last week for the first time. So exciting times for them and their family. Okay, I'm at the end of the chat. Anybody else have anything? I was really thinking this call would go long today with lots of questions. Anybody have anything else? I'd actually prepared more time for this call today. Well, I'm glad that you guys, I mean, we're here for your questions. I'm glad you don't have a lot of questions, because that means everything's going well. So that's a good deal. I know you guys are all very busy with the getting started for the school year, because things are buzzing around here as well. And Rick, if your bell schedules are different for all the different sites, we would, yes. But in the if you send us one because the bell schedule is the same for all your sites, just let us know that in the email. That'd be fine. I'm sure it's super busy for you all. I agree. No, I don't know anything about the DC reports. Keep in mind, as I stated earlier in the call and in the PowerPoint, that full report normally is a little bit into August before we get it. We just haven't relied on it for the last 2 years, so we've forgotten that sometimes it doesn't come out as soon as we need it in August. We do know you need it. We do check with them every day because we do get calls, but as soon as we know it's ready, we will put something out in CARS. Okay, anything else? We are still planning on doing this call once a month. Will a master schedule work if the bell schedule doesn't list the third meal? I think that would be okay. Master schedule. Yeah, that would be fine. We do need to know how long your lunch hour is. We have to take out for lunch hour. We can't include that when we figure it. Do we track meals by month? Are you meaning for adults? Are you meaning kids? Are you meaning adults for the for adults? Yes, that form does track total number of meals for adults each month. Does lunch on one side and breakfast on the other. I'm having share screen issues, or I would pull it up. I apologize. I tried that at the very beginning and something's not right. Anyone else? We are working on applications just as quickly as we absolutely can, I assure you. And we're just, and again, we approve them in the order we receive them. Be sure after you finish, go to below that where you upload paper documents and submit the application to CNP. That lets us know that it's in queue for us to look at. Make sure you've done that. Okay, anyone else have any questions? I'm not going to keep you. I know you guys are very busy. Let's see. I need to fix on my application. I think Tammy's still on vacation. Who do I reach out to? She'll be back this week. Just give her another day or two. Email her and let her know if you haven't already. But yes, she is still on vacation, but she will get it. Just give her another. I think she's back. I want to say she's back Wednesday. Okay. Anyone else? Non-accredited sites and cars will not allow a school to submit to CNP. Okay. Thank you. I think I forgot about that. Those are still, some of them are still in there because of COVID. I did forget about that. Thank you for that reminder. Okay, anyone else? Again, I know you guys are busy. I don't want to keep you, but I want to make sure all your questions get answered. But we are at the end of the chat and we haven't had any more come in, so I'll give it another little bit and we'll just plan on getting off. We are going to keep this to a month. If we need to do anything sooner than that, we will definitely do it. I have our biweekly call with USDA, our regional office this week. And so I'm not anticipating really anything coming out new, but if something was, we would definitely get that out to you as soon as we can. We didn't have it 2 weeks ago, so I'm not sure what to expect.
Just one.
Let's see, Becky chimed in that Dana was correct as far as the non-accredited sites. If you have a non-accredited site, someone here in the office.
Picking up on stack this year, huh?
Macy, can you mute your phone, please?
I know. Okay,
Macy?
so we need to try to get at least 3 things, if y'all would.
Okay, I'm unmuted now. Okay, sorry about that. Kendra did unmute all, so. Someone in the office will need to submit that for you, which we can do. So let us know and we will do that. If you have some non-accredited sites in there, remember those non-accredited sites were from COVID when we were doing all those crazy ways of feeding that first year that were allowed. So, okay, I think that's it. I keep saying, but nothing else has come through the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and close the call. I hope you guys, if you've started, I hope it's going well and I hope it continues to go well. If you haven't started, good luck when you do. You guys can do this. You've done much more in the last 2 years. You can get this. You got it. You guys have got it. You've been through a lot and you'll continue, but you got it. So I want to wish you all the best. We'll plan on talking to you all again on September 12th. Unless we need to get with you before that, we're here. Give us a call. Reach out to your regional child nutrition program specialist if you need or have questions. They're there for you too. And we will talk on the 12th of September. Hopefully not before, because that might mean something really big came about. And the thought of having to pivot to something just kind of gives me, starts to give me a headache, but we'll get through it. We've done it for 2 years. You all have done it for 2 years. It'll be great. Have a great year and continue, and we will talk soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.